So today, a little tip that I wanted to talk about was, when planting, a lot of seed manufacturers recommend that you plant two seeds in the one cup and then you figure out which one's doing the best and you do what's called thinning the rest. So thinning would be, I would look at this cup and say that this was my best ground cherry here, and this guy's not doing well, so I'm going to kill him, and this guy's not doing as well as him, so I'm going to kill him off too. And now you're left with the one best plant. In theory, I mean, it does work out well that way. You're guaranteeing the best success, at least for what you can see with the naked eye right now. But with something like ground cherries, that's such a delicious plant, and it's tough to really get them going. It doesn't make sense to get them this far and only to kill off two of at least one of every cup here, or in this case kill two off, because this plant had sprung three. So what I like to do, that I've been doing today, that I found out works really well, is since the seeds were planted on the outside of the cups to begin with early on, the roots tend to stay on the outside of these cups where the light is. It's warmer there, and the light most likely stimulates them, and they tend to grow this way. So there's not very many roots in the middle. So what I've been doing is on a backstroke always, because it less damages the plants. One or two backstrokes on both sides, in between the cut. Usually I'll split the cup. I'll peel the side, and I'll come right down the middle with the serrated knife, lightly, cleanly, and not cut the table. Now when you open them up, you can see there's minimal roots inside. So it's not like you did a whole lot of damage in like a shock transplant. It would be the same thing almost as if these were planted in the 2-inch pods. They haven't really searched very far yet to develop root mass, because I've been giving them water every day and they know that they're going to get it. So what I like to do is pack down one side, put this side flat, and let it flop right out into your hand. And then you go right back into the cup, and you have another cup ready for another one here. We have some good quality potting soil mix here, and compost that we've used for years around the property. So you get your cup set up. What I like to do is, get my fingers in there and kind of make like a V shape. Same thing with this one. Pat it down. This way it's more, firm, has a shape to it. Flop her out. Put her right into that V. And now it's as easy as backfilling with whatever dirt you had on the table, and your good quality potting soil, whichever you have on hand. Make sure they're supported. And the soil that I'm using now has already been moistened. It doesn't need, these will not need to be watered in on their first day. They're already healthy plants. It's not like you're doing a full transplant. You're literally just giving them more room to grow. So they're not even asking for any more than they already were to begin with. But now, instead of killing off one ground cherry of all my two, I've been able to successfully double my yield in ground cherries now by splitting them this way. And with ground cherries being a perennial, delicious, edible perennial that comes back year after year, now I can effectively plant twice as many more on the property. Instead of only having 10, now I have 20. And if you some don't make it anyway for whatever reason, now I have that many more that have a chance to be successful. And I didn't have to kill off anything. And sometimes, if you look here, we happened to buy an eggplant from Bonnie, and the same thing happened. We have 2 full eggplants here. I'm not entirely positive if I cut this it would happen, because the roots in here are probably a lot stronger, and you can see them coming out the bottom. But I might successfully be able to split this in half and have 2 eggplants with minimal shock and transplant damage. It would all just come down to being experimental. You know, if you have the extra plants to try the experiment, then I encourage you to always experiment, especially in the garden. You know, otherwise, you know, these, but in the same token, if I didn't split these or thin these, depending on the size hole they go into, they could essentially kill each other anyway and strangle each other and produce weak fruit all year too. So it might just be worth it to try to cut these. And if we do cut these, I will make an updated video on doing the process and seeing how they actually turned out, so we'll know for future years to come. But good day in the garden.